GETTYNicola Sturgeon's party has been criticised for the tactics in forcing through changes. Brexit Minister Mike Russell has offered some concessions to Finance and Constitution Committee members, who are subjecting the bill to intense scrutiny, giving Scottish ministers the power to keep pace with European Union regulations post-Brexit. The legislation had proposed Scotland maintain this for up to 15 years, a 5-year period immediately after Brexit that could be extended on other occasions for 5-year periods, but the committee instead voted to reduce this to a maximum total of 5 years, which would be made up of 3 years after Brexit, with 2 one-year extensions then permitted. This was supported by Conservative, Labour, Green and Liberal Democrat MSPs. SNP ministers introduced the UK withdrawal from the European Union Bill legal continuity, Scotland, following an ongoing battle with Westminster over the UK's government's EU withdrawal bill, which was branded a power grab by the devolved governments in Scotland and Wales, but opposition MSPs were concerned the measures in the Scottish legislation represented an attempt to seize powers for Holyrood ministers. Liberal Democrat MSP Tavish Scott said Section 13 of the proposals can only really be described as a ministerial seizure of the most extensive powers. He warned ministers of any persuasion can create new laws, abolish old laws and create old quangos over the next 15 years without a change to this law, and could possibly imprison people for up to 2 years under offences brought to the statute book by regulations and not primary legislation. Despite the slim time frame, Mr. Scott warned against rushing the changes. It is really important this is carefully thought through. Even in the time constraints we have today, if similar plans had been in the UK bill, they would have been subject to the scrutiny of 2 houses of Parliament over months and months, not this much shorter period of time we are having to deal with this bill here in Parliament today. Getty James Kelly said Russell was using the legislation to enhance the powers of the Scottish ministers. Labour MSP for Glasgow James Kelly also claimed that in Section 13 of the bill, Mr. Russell was using the legislation to enhance the powers of the Scottish ministers, but Mr. Russell warned there could be serious damage to industries such as the fish and farming sector if Scottish ministers could not make law to keep pace with changing European regulations. We have to balance the requirement for scrutiny, ministerial restraint and ministerial supervision, with the requirement to do something. In these exceptional circumstances, last night, the Scottish Parliament sat until 10:35 p.m. after committee members spent nearly 5 hours debating the issues. They resumed at 8 a.m. today and went on for almost 4 hours before they sit again at 6:30 p.m. in a bid to finalise scrutiny of amendments and complete the second stage of proceedings for